Hello everyone, this is Colin on the ASA League channel, and here we are back at it again for the Pennzoil Pro Series, this time for race 22 at California. We come in here for a night race, not something we're used to seeing at California. Usually it's a day race. We're going to see how the drivers adapt to it this week as we go to California in the chase. Here are the point standings. In the chase, Zygarde is on top of the board, however with a much decreased points lead than when he had at Infininon. Michael Jones is only 10 behind, but still his other competitors need to catch up here today with a good finish. The two danger spots, Derek Petrie and Jay Barker, 6th and 7th. They're looking to improve their points position. One of them, however, starts on the pole. On the outside, Arsha Sain had a great week last week, finished 2nd. Row 2, Jay Durrell and Webster Zygarde, your current points leader, looking to extend his lead. Row 3, great starting spots by Joseph Wrigley and Sam Rogers, two Toyotas. Row 4 got a pair of teammates, Big Motorsports teammates, of Derek Petrie and Kyle Singer. Row 5 has Michael Jones and Rick Witt, a pair of chasers. They're looking to do good today. Row 6 has Nicholas Samudio and Haley Wish, a great start for the rookie. Row 7, Ryan Dunn and Ryan Kendall. Kendall fallen off after having a previous really good couple weeks. Zach Komoski and Tony Green, another rookie, starting up close to the front. Eric Willis and Daniel Voyle starting row 9. This track does tend to favor rookies because of its not let off the gas kind of style. Jose Viquez and Zach Carbs are going to start in row 10. Row 11, chaser Nick Purcell's one of the further back starting chasers, and Cody Russlone is outside. Row 12, two people who got eliminated last week, Jack Newman and Blaine Keys. Row 13, Nikita Riskoff and Daniel Maxwell, two drivers who barely missed the chase cutoff at race 16. Row 14, Addison Steinbach and Brock McMahon. Row 15, Allison Davidson and Brian Boone, a pair of Dodges in the field. Row 16, your further starting back chaser, Kyle Collins and John Cittadino. Row 17, Jesse Dalton for night racing and Cesar Chavez, one of the hottest drivers on the track right now. Row 18, Brian Lenning and Aaron Lukes. Row 19, Jeremy Jones and Matthew Brown for the DW Motorsports Mustang. Row 20, William Brock for the single car organization, and Carson Scott, making both night racing cars, join the field. In row 21, Dion Scott and James Johnson round out the field. Here are the people that did not qualify for the race, and we are just about set to get going and racing here at California. Pace car is off. They're coming to the line. Green flag is out. Here we go racing under the lights at California. And what an impressive start by Barker as he's going to get in front of his teammate. National Racing had a little bit of a controversy last week. Arsha Sain arguably got the best of all the teammates. Definitely did not turn out well for anyone though. But the two National Racing cars are going to slot into first and second. Jay Durrell is going to fall into third. Engine problems right at the end of the race. Also problems for him last week. He wants to try to recover from that and hopefully finish off the season with any strength left. But for Arsha Sain, he just wants to do well. Last week was probably one of his only good runs of the year. He's had other good performances, just has never been able to get the finishes. He is already confirmed to be leaving National Racing at the end of this season. Don't know his plans. He might be going over to the newly confirmed Knight Hoffman Racing, a merge between Knight Racing and Hoffman Motorsports. Just announced this week. We'll see how that goes as we see the 43 car behind though. Jay Durrell, it's surprising to see him have a bad year after winning the championship last season, but it has gone that way. But you see behind them we got a battle between Derek Petrie and Michael Jones, or Derek Petrie has pulled away a little bit. But these two chasers are the second highest to Jay Barker, who is currently leading the race. Jones doesn't have really much to worry about today, but the 53 car is 6th in points, and that is dangerous, as remember, two drivers this race are going to get eliminated. We're looking at Webster Zygarde here in the back of the field. This Era Chevrolet has not been strong this week, and you know, that's a common thing we've been talking about Webster Zygarde, but somehow he finds himself on top of the points. Just ends up to finish off the day strong. We'll see if he can get away with it again today. The only other chaser we haven't talked about is the Old Spice Racing teammates, the remaining Toyotas in the field. These Toyotas haven't been outstandingly strong. Nick Purcell's, although it's just a miracle that he's been able to make it through. No one expected him to even make the chase. If you remember, Old Spice Racing actually missed the chase last season. All 3 of their cars this season, they've gotten all 3 of them in. Ryan Dunn was out early, but they still have 2 left and definitely chugging strong. And the last car actually is Rick Witt up here, the second to last Dodge, excluding Michael Jones. As we see, caution is out on the track actually, as we look at our race leader Jay Barker take the 8th lap. He's led them all so far, but we're going to see what has brought out this most recent caution. And it's going to be in the back, and we have almost a 5-wide situation, but it's just going to be a matter of running out of room. Allison Davidson's going to drift up the track, and multiple other cars towards the back of the field are going to pound into the 22 car, and one of them being Daniel Maxwell. He is done from the race, but looks like Zach Komoski, the other car involved, is going to be able to drive away. Another car went in the grass that looked like Eric Willis in the Zach Camry, and Willis definitely has done a ton of damage. It does not look like he's getting away. As you see from the aerial, the 17 car got loose on the bottom, and wow, that was a heavy hit by the 4 car. Just nowhere from to go. You see the 5 also getting involved just a little bit right there, although I believe he'll be able to continue. Riding on board Maxwell, yeah, just nothing that the 22 could do there. He just got hit from underneath. The 17 will get away, but multiple cars behind are going to suffer the consequences. Green flag is going to be back out in the air as Arsh Hussain is going to take the lead on pit stops. Jay Durrell, if last week wasn't bad enough, it's not getting any better this week. He fell back quite a little bit because had to back up in his pit box, went through it, and now he's out just outside the top 10. However, if he has a fast enough car, I think he can make it back up. This has put Michael Jones in the 3rd position and Derek Petrie in the 4th, making the chase battle up at the front pretty intense, as we got 3 chasers all battling inside the top 5, I mean. But Arsh Hussain is the guy that's breaking that up a little bit. Also, Nicholas Samudio, a pretty good run for him, back in the 5th position. Rick Witt, Kyle Collins, Nick Purcell, and Webster Zygarde, though, the other 3 chasers, are pretty much logged at the back of the field. Now, this isn't good for people like Nick Purcell or Kyle Collins, because while they did come in here 4th and 5th, the 2 drivers that they had a cushion on, Derek Petrie and Jay Barker, well, look at that. They're actually on top of the screen right now, 1st and 3rd in the race. That will knock those Old Spice teammates down. And Rick Witt, he still has to worry, because if one of those Old Spice guys get up there, it could be him getting knocked down. No one's really safe. Other than Webster Zygarde, it will be pretty ludicrous if he gets knocked out, but anything can happen here. And you see the 2 cars actually going to get passed here now by the 9 car of Arsh Hussain. And look who's coming in on the inside. Derek Petrie in the 53 is going to make this a 2-car battle. And Michael Jones on the inside, he's going to make it a 3-car battle. And Jay Barker is now going to slip from 1st to, it looks like he may slip to 5th here if Jose Viquez can get in on the battle. Hussain will come away with the lead. Derek Petrie will follow in 2nd. And Michael Jones is going to go in 3rd. Also coming up in this mix, Jack Newman in the 7, one of the National Racing teammates. Here's Jay Durrell for Fitzwater Australia Racing. Hasn't been able to make his way to the front yet. That's a little scary, as he looked like he had a pretty fast car, but just has not been able to move his way up through the field. See running around behind a Red Viper Racing, in between a Red Viper Racing tandem of Nikita Rizkov and Daniel Voiles, but at least he's not dropping positions. He's staying pretty much where he restarted. And there's a spinner! And that was a chaser. Kyle Collins involved. And caution is out on the track as we were riding on board Blaine Keys when it looked like 2 cars got together. And that's not good, as we're going to see what happened here. There are the 2 victims, Ryan Kendall and Kyle Collins. Collins in the Lexus Toyota. That is definitely not what he wanted to see. Remember, 4th in points, that's not necessarily safe. And I'd almost put the blame on Collins there. Just apparently he did not see that the 56 was there. And his hopes for continuing on in the chase might have just took a hit there. Poor Ryan Kendall, he really didn't have any say in that matter, though, as he was going around for the ride whether he wanted it or not. As we see more pit stops happening here, this time Arsh Hussain going into his box. However, if that wasn't bad enough for Old Spice Racing, their other car is going to get hit with a problem. Engine failure for the 00 of Nick Purcell. And what seems like a forgiving season for him so far is going to end with an engine failure. And definitely the racing gods were not looking down on him today. And he is going to drop out. And sadly, his chase hopes are going to be done because unless both Derek Petrie and Jay Barker drop out this next lap, they're going to be able to pass Nick Purcell on the track and make up points to pass him in the championship. Green flag is back on the track as the 9 car, the 2 car, and the 7 car line up 1, 2, 3. Apparently that National Racing Team meeting ended up working because now they have set aside their differences and are working together at the front of the field. Because that surprised him because last week, Jay Barker pretty much took out Jack Newman from a chance at winning the championship and by wrecking him and putting him in the wall. But that harmony at the front is going to be broken up. Here comes Derek Petrie, and he might take both of them on. Arash Hossein looks like he'll be able to keep the lead out front, but Jay Barker and Jack Newman are fallen victim. Michael Jones almost looked 3 wide there, but he thought better of it. A veteran move not putting him 3 wide going down in the corner. But Arash Hossein is going to hold on to the lead in front of Derek Petrie, but that's not going to last for long. Here comes Petrie to the inside. That Valvoline Chevrolet looking very strong, and he's going to put the first chaser that's not Jay Barker out in the front of the field today. And Heineken and Valvoline is going to lead the field today at lap 25. Derek Petrie, one of the longest lasting drivers in the field, as well as Jay Barker and Michael Jones. And so they're showing up the rookies on how to run it here at California. But look in the back here. Look at all these rookies back here. Well, maybe not necessarily rookies, but maybe season tours. I see Jose Viquez, Nicholas Samudio, Brock McMahon, Matthew Brown, a bunch of drivers who made their first full-time season in Season 2. All running back here in this Hornet's Nest, I'd like to call it. I also saw Jay Durrell back there. Still hanging tough around in the top 15, but has not been able to make it to the top 3 again like we saw earlier in the race. As we see Derek Petrie, he's still holding on to the lead, but this time he has a new competitor. Jay Barker has shown his face at the front, and he has made it to the front. As we see the mid-race report come on the right side of the screen, Jay Barker is going to go to the lead, and Derek Petrie is going to fall to second. So the chasers are going to swap it up at the front. Zach Cars is going to move into third place further behind. But Jay Barker, it's not a surprise to see him at the front. It's actually a surprise not to see him at the front, seeing as how good he did earlier this year. Only driver with 3 wins this season, and doing really good as it stands right now. Barker, we don't know where he's going next season, but if he's not a driver, he'll do well anywhere else he goes. Don't know about the sponsors yet either, although there is rumors that Bass Pro Shops may not be coming back next year for the 2 car. And we got green flag pit stops. Derek Petrie coming down. Arash Hossein, and there's another car behind. James Johnson, really good run for him so far. He's in third, and he'll follow him down into pit road. And out of pit road, Derek Petrie, what a lightning fast stop, and look how far out he's going to get in front of these other guys. Jay Barker's going to come in second, but look who's in third. Jay Durrell has found his way up to third on pit strategy, and when his crew has lost him, they've gained it right back, as now he's up in the third position. Zach Cars is in fourth, and Matthew Brown is in fifth. James Johnson, another really good start. Look at this, 4 wide coming across the line. In the front, in the battle for second, is a 4 wide battle. You don't see that outside of Daytona or Talladega. That's incredible. And Matthew Brown is going to go from 5th to 2nd. What a daring move by him, but it's going to pay off. You see Jay Barker, obviously the biggest loser in that situation. He doesn't know what happened. He had 4 cars inside him. You see Derek Petrie, though, out front. The biggest surprise, though, look at the lead he has amassed, and that's not because he's pulled away. That's what he got during pit stops. Well, the field has been split up just a little bit. You see Michael Jones, he's actually leading a second group here. In the pack, Cesar Chavez just can't stop talking about him, as he's going to look for another top 10 run today. Something he's been getting a lot of recently, and definitely should get credit for it. One of the drivers almost won Rookie of the Year last season, but fell short. Looking at Webster Zygarde, though, we got to keep checking in with our chasers. While Jay Barker and Derek Petrie do really well, it is important to check in with these chasers, and Rick Witt is not having the race he wanted today. Neither is Zygarde for being the points leaders. I thought by now he would be making his way to the front of the field, although we still have enough laps for another pit stop, so maybe Zygarde can make it up then and gain some points like we've seen in the past. I don't know, but time is running out. But as for the front of the field, we're starting to notice a little bit of a gap starting to close between the 53 and the 21. It's closing ever so slightly, and it's because these guys have started to go single file, led by Matthew Brown and behind by Jay Barker. He sees Derek Petrie out there out in front of him. I'm sure he want to catch him and pass him and win this race for himself. But how about like guys like the 21 car, the 98, 75? They haven't won a race all season. I'm sure they're looking just to get a win this season and turn around what has been a pretty bad season for a lot of them, excluding Zach Cars at least, because he's at least made the chase. But how about this guy, though? If someone's had a bad season, it's James Johnson. Even for a rookie, it's been probably a disappointing season for him because Overdrive Motorsports has not done well all season. They've been considered one of the backmarker teams. But a top 4 run, that would pay so many dividends for the team, as they have not had a good run, I believe, all season. Actually, I think Ruby Easton got a better run earlier in the season, but as for James Johnson, he's not had one to date. As we see, Derek Petrie is going to lead him in a little bit earlier than we expected, but it's going to bring in everyone nonetheless, as we see the 21 coming out, but following him is the 2 and the 98. Now, that was a really fast pit stop by the 21. You see the 53 coming by now. Will Matthew Brown be able to hold the lead? And we're going to check, and no, it does not look like it, but that gap is gone, and Matthew Brown is up there to challenge with Derek Petrie. I don't know if Jay Barker or Zach Cars are going to be able to mix it up here. You see James Johnson also add him to the field. He's also coming out pretty quickly, and he's going to tail on the back with these guys. Riding on board Matthew Brown as you see going down the front stretch. Under 10 laps to go now, as Matthew Brown is going to try to make a move. DW Motorsports has not won for an entire year, and Ford is shaking a little bit because they don't know who exactly is going to be the best team for them next season. If Matthew Brown could get a win here, though, that would be huge for DW Motorsports. As we're looking, though, James Johnson, how about him in Overdrive Motorsports? He has a legitimate shot at winning this. And they're both going to go by the chaser, Derek Petrie. This is supposed to be a chase race. We're supposed to be concentrating on the chasers. Well, 2 non-chasers just blew by our dominating driver of the day, Derek Petrie, in his quest for the chase. And we have forgotten about the chase because we got a 2-man battle at the front here. Here comes James Johnson, looking to the inside. And a feel-good story at the front of the field if either of those 2 guys wins the race. Looking, though, behind, I would not count out these guys. Jay Barker is closing the gap. He saw what Matthew Brown did last green flag run, and he's replicating right now as he has a little bit of help from Zach Cars, but they are single file nonetheless. Just 4 laps to go. You see Jay Barker is there, and he has closed the gap. At the front 3 have stayed the same, but Barker is there. We have a caution on the track. Oh no, and I think that will end the race. This is the race for the win, I believe, and Matthew Brown is going to lead the field coming back to the start-finish line. Barker made up so much time in such a small amount of laps that he probably could have made it to the front of the field, but we do have a caution on the track. Oh, and William Brock is blown up on the inside line. He was actually having a really good day today, inside the top 10 a few times. And he's going to actually blow a motor, you see, going down the front stretch. However, that was not the caution flag. The caution flag is for the group you saw just passing by back there. No, Matthew Brown is down and out of the way, but perhaps he might have laid a little bit of oil. And you see the 23 and the 93 are going to get together, and that's going to send Jeremy Jones up into the wall. And those were actually teammates, so I don't know what happened there. We're going to ride on board Addison Steinbach, and to determine. And it looks like Jones actually slowed up just a little bit, and Steinbeck was not anticipating that. I'm not really going to throw the blame towards either one, but it was a teammate accident, and that's not what you want to see. Pretty much the national racing of this season. I mean, of this race. As we see, though, the white flag is in the air, and the pace car still has its lights on, so indeed, this will be the end of the race. And Matthew Brown is going to go back to victory lane. And what a great story. How about that? 1-2. Two drivers I don't think anyone expected to be up front. Matthew Brown has done well all season long. And this is a win that's been coming for a long time. Just didn't expect it now, though. But it really doesn't surprise us because these kind of tracks have definitely been favored by Matthew Brown in the past. And he's going to get it done again. Pretty much around the same time he got his first win last season. And Brown's going to do a victory burnout. Not too much in a circle, but more of a line shape on the front stretch. Just James Johnson, though, you got to give it up for that team. That is so amazing to see Overdrive Motorsports get a good run. Definitely deserved by them, too. They raced their hearts out today. Michael Jones will fall to 16th after running pretty well, but also chasers Rick Witt and Webster Zygarde way down in the field. However, these guys need to be scared. Nick Purcell's and Kyle Collins. Collins actually not on this list, but Nick Purcell's especially, I don't think he'll make it on. And here are your finishing point standings results after the race. And indeed, the two Toyotas have lost their chances at continuing on the chase. Kyle Collins will lose his by 1 point over Rick Witt. 1 point, one position on the track is the difference between Rick Witt moving on and Kyle Collins not. And if that wasn't exciting enough, we got 2 more races to go. Next race will be Phoenix, where we determine the final 4 that go to the Armory Digital. Thank you all so much for watching.